Black Will Travel is a travel company for those interested in seeing the world in color. Who am I? I'm Chandra Charisse, lead explorer and founder of Black Will Travel.
What's up, my Black Will Travel explorers? Hey, I know that you've missed me in the 5 seconds that I've been gone, but let's jump into this podcast, shall we? In regards to all of this increase in travel. I sound super excited right now because I am. Increase in travel is great for business. Not going to tell you it's not. And the increase in new travelers is something that I didn't expect to occur in such a fantastic way. What's interesting is there has been a transition of customers and or I should say people as a whole who are used to traveling via cruise lines now wanting to experience flying to a destination. And usually with that comes a little bit of a learning curve as far as how they like to travel because to be honest, people who cruise all the time really don't know how they like to travel except for like all inclusive food. All inclusive for those who may or may not be familiar with that terminology simply means that your meals and beverages are included. And that is at times that can be including alcohol, but definitely non alcoholic beverages are included. And so people love the flexibility of being able to do that. Granted, on a cruise ship, there's a time period in which you could do that. And at some destinations for all inclusive resorts, there's still a time period due to COVID and how they have their seating to try to keep, social distancing and open air and all of that good stuff. So, I'm coming on here today because I answered somebody's inquiry in reference to being a person that is a professional in the travel industry and things that they need to know traveling now during COVID and things about the increase in the prices and stuff of that nature. And because I answered that question, I figured, okay, I'm up here telling these people this stuff, but I'm not telling you. And to my new agents that signed on to have me as a mentor, this will be perfect for you. And to the new listeners that I have, I hope that this provides some added value to you as you are researching your travel. Now, if you're not researching your travel, I hope that you turn around and, of course, give me a call. You can call me at 571-306-0298, or you could just send me an email at blackwilltravel.com. Sorry, I was about to say another email. Or you could just send me a message. People send me messages all the time on Facebook or Instagram in reference to their travel inquiry needs. Now, granted, I'm going to send you back to the email because I like to have an organizational process and I can keep a documentation of our conversation via email. However, I'll be glad to start with you on the phone and then we can transition to such if that makes you feel better. Now, that being said, I was asked some questions like what are the best and hot travel spots during COVID? Well, that's like a weird thing to state. So I'll state the places that are more flexible, and this will be for my U.S. and international. Hello, my international clients. This is helpful for you. Now, I will say this. Flexibility also depends on the COVID rules to re-enter your country. So, some countries may say you can't visit these destinations, but you can visit other destinations and be mindful of that. Okay? All right. So, the countries that offer the most flexibility and that are allowing people into their country, and allowing, I also mean North American citizens, because, sometimes we're not allowed, would be Mexico, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Maldives, Dubai, Ghana, and Zanzibar. Now, of course, Kenya is in that, but we're talking about the ones people are going to right now that you're going to see a lot on Instagram and other places. These are the places that they're going. And for some people, if it's their first time traveling outside of the country via plane, because they were cruise people, one of the first places they actually end up doing is Mexico, for price, flight flexibility. And depending on when you're going, will determine what that is for you. So just keep in mind, not only does the month determine what's a good price for you, it is also the day of the week of departure. And it is also going to be if you're traveling around a federal holiday, either for yourself or the country you are visiting. So keep that in mind. And pricing and all that stuff will be determined not only by that because of your ticket, it will be determined by when and how long you want to stay. So I always preference that if I have people traveling to a destination outside of their home country, I'll say, I prefer for them to stay 4 nights at a minimum. And that's like short haul trips. That's like flights that are 6 hours or less. And yes, I consider that short haul. That's simply because your first day is a travel day, and sometimes you won't get there, or your plane may not land until after 4 o'clock because you're looking for that great deal, or it may land in the evening. And I don't want you to feel like you're missing out on anything. So, in order to not feel like you're missing out on anything, I just suggest doing 4 nights. If you were a traveler that likes to have a jam packed schedule, like something to do every day, then this would be like really good for you. If you're a traveler that likes to relax a little bit and lounge a little bit, and you want like something to do, but not really, but you really just want to read a book or sit by the pool or anything of that nature, you at least need to stay 5 nights in order to be able to break that up. That's just in my professional opinion. So, the things that you need to keep in mind when picking a destination, even if it's outside of this list, is the how they've handled COVID so far, which, tomato tomato, because really, how has the United States really handled COVID? I'll just give you a second to think about that. I mean, we're getting better now, but those countries that have handled it very well from the beginning, such as Ghana, such as Jamaica, such as the Bahamas, I'm thoroughly impressed with them. Of course, there's, New Zealand and the Cook Islands, they've done a great job too. But that's not the point. And the point is the ones that immediately said, no, this is how we have to handle it. These people need to quarantine here when they enter, et cetera, before we got tests and things of that nature. Those are the countries that you need to be on the lookout for of where you need to go. You will find that traveling in these places, you honestly feel a lot more secure than you do in your home country. Now, for my international people, I'm not going to say that's necessarily the case for you all, because the way that you've all had to deal with COVID has been a little different. But I will say that's definitely the case for us here in the United States, as each state handles it their own way versus following a generic list of laws and regulations. It's all under whatever the state wants to do. So there's some states that have just been open however they want to be open. Shout out to y'all in the South. So, just keep that in mind, because when I have clients that are from those states that have been open like that, and then I introduce whatever the restrictions are to enter a certain country or something, it is like, wait, what are you saying? Wait, we're not like that here. It hasn't been like here. Why is it so hard? It seems hard because they weren't living in these restrictions anyway. And those of us outside the DC area, or in the DC area, in the DC metro, shout out to the DMV, it has been a whirlwind of regulations and mask